Hi everybody, it's Dara, and I have some gorgeous produce on the island that I got at the farmer's market. And I guess I was trying to figure out what I'm going to make, but sometimes I just need to turn on the camera so that we can do it together, because then you can see the process that's involved with kind of analyzing and looking at the ingredients on hand and then saying, hey, I can make this with this, or how about these flavor combinations? So I'm going to share that process with you. So this video probably won't be that short. I don't know what we're going to make, but we're going to figure it out together. And I also want to just show you that the point of the matter is that it's easy and it's creative and it's fun and it's a celebration. Raw food and eating a plant-based diet and following this lifestyle is easy and it's a celebration. So it's the gorgeousness of the baby chard lettuce. So when I went to the farmer's market yesterday, I said to myself, or the day before, I don't know, I said to myself, you know what, I feel like I'm an artist going to the farmer's market with a blank canvas, and these are my paints. So this is my beautiful red paint, and this happens to be so sweet and so salty, these tomatoes, that really you realize that you don't need to do anything to them other than just eat them. But if you want, you could slice them and throw them over this beautiful crisp chard salad that was singing with such vibrancy. And so the way I pick things at the farmer's market is I kind of let them speak to me, and they kind of, the vegetables just look, they look alive. So you want to go for the things that look vibrant and speak to you. And so, yeah, it's kind of like, this is my creativity. I mean, all of these little baby zucchini sitting in a container, and you know that these zucchini were picked really soon. They're not just letting them grow and grow and grow and get big. This is like care and love. This is a teeny zucchini that is just picked at its little sweet prime. So these are sweeter, and for something like this, these would speak to making them little slices, little round slices. The other night I had these and I sliced them very thin, and I put a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of nutritional yeast, and a little bit of salt because I was in a hurry and I was hungry, and I had a bowl of that, and I did sit in front of a movie, and that's what I ate. So if you think that this lifestyle is complicated, it's just not. If you think that it's boring, try crunching into some of this food and just feeling alive. So I got these, last time I was at the farmer's market, I saw the girl who was working this beautiful farming booth. She was just eating lettuce, like it was a hot day, and I was like, I want what you're having. And she said, well, I'm just eating this lettuce and it's replacing my electrolytes. So these little tight lettuces are so great for just chopping the end off, you know, just eating them, or chopping them up into a little bowl and mixing it. It's as easy as taking this gorgeous, do you guys remember James Stewart? He was the one who ran the beautiful Rawsome, where I used to purchase all of my goodies for a long time, and he was so he is so beautiful, and now he's involved with Oliflix, which is this beautiful, I've been using this olive oil, so I wanted to share this with you. There's a website, I'll put the link below. Beautiful. So when I think about raw food and people say, oh, it's so hard, it's so complicated, I say, yeah, there's a plenty of hard or difficult recipes, or a little more advanced, let's say. But then what's easier than taking this, drizzling some olive oil, and then sprinkling some pink Himalayan salt, which this kind is really nice. This is Premier Research Labs, and this one is a really nice pink salt. Very quality. It has a lot of minerals that we need. Okay, balance our body's water level. We don't want to use iodized salt ever. It's been bleached. It has anti-caking agents. It's been stripped of the minerals. So when you do use salt, use something that's beneficial. So then we have our lettuce, and we know we have our olive oil, and we don't really need to chop this lettuce for now. I have some lime, so I have lime juice. I like to have a brightness. So for brightness for a salad, you could use lemon juice, lime juice, grapefruit, orange juice. If you don't have any of those fresh vegetables on hand, apple cider vinegar is lovely. A little bit of that on top. The reason we don't use regular vinegars often is that they cause acidity in the body, and apple cider vinegar does not, and neither do lemons and limes. So I'll squeeze some lime juice. What if I'm in a hurry and I don't feel like using a little mini Cuisinart and I want to just make something quick? Drizzle this, some salt, some seasoning, mix it up, and go sit down and enjoy yourself. That's how easy it is. Now you can get more complicated. You can throw some tomatoes in. Woo. We can cut some zucchini and put it in. We can decide to chop up some fresh dill for digestion. Dill is so calming. I love dill. Dill is nice with a creamy sauce. Like if you wanted to blend some dill and some hemp seeds and a little bit of water and a little bit of garlic. That's really nice. We have cilantro. Sometimes I just like to chop up herbs, throw them in my salad, and keep the salad dressing really simple. So we can do that. Because everything is filled with so much flavor on its own that it's really not necessary to do too much, to make things too fancy. So for me, simpler is better. In my home, in my relationships, in my life, in my drawers, everything's simple. And then you can breathe and you have room to have more creative ideas come to you. When we're so clogged with stuff in our bodies, stuff in our homes, we become overburdened, weighed down. And so we want to lighten our load. And this is a light salad. So I was thinking, what I do sometimes is I think, well, these tomatoes are so delicious, but they're almost too delicious to blend into a dressing. Sometimes when the tomatoes are beautiful in color and they have some flavor and they're good, I can blend them in my mini processor and then they'll make a nice base for a dressing. But these are so incredibly, they're like candy on their own, that I would almost rather just put them into the salad as is or save them for later and eat them when I need a snack. I also have figs, and these figs will be delightful sliced up. But I would decide probably between, I won't do both of these. I won't do the combination of figs and tomatoes. I would choose tomato, dill, herb, or I would go for a fig and maybe take the olive oil and a little bit of honey and some walnuts and make that kind of dressing. So which guy do you guys want? I'm using the walnuts from Ron Teagarden, and these are amazing because they're skinned. And sometimes I find that when I eat walnuts that have the skin on them, I don't digest them as well, but there's something about Ron Teagarden, dragonherbs.com, their walnuts that just process easily, and they look like little brains and they're good for your brain. So even if you're following a low-fat, raw, vegan diet, you don't want to eat too much fats, a little bit of avocado, a little bit of walnuts. I do have avocado, and avocado can go in here too. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go the savory route. I'm going to not do the figs in this one for some reason. I might do the figs with arugula. I have arugula in the refrigerator. Arugula with pine nuts as the Parmesan. I chop up crumbled pine nuts and put pine nuts and olive oil over arugula and then some little pieces of fig. That could be really good because the bitter of the arugula calls for some sweet. So we need to balance that out. There's no bitterness here, so we're going with a little bit of this. And this is how easy it is, and how pretty, and how happy, and how fresh, and how beneficial to the senses. It's almost like you could be pictured sitting under a tree on grass and with a picnic blanket and having this gorgeous fresh salad and then getting up to play. So I'm deciding to everybody that it's really all what we tell ourselves. I'm so fixated on this because I'm more with Dara. We are having what I call a party. It's called a raw party with Dara, and I am going to be 9 days supporting everybody in being 100% raw. And I am not calling it a challenge because that sounds unfun to me. Why set something up is harder than it really is. Positive languaging is part of my program here. It's part of my joy to think of ways to tell myself to make the better choices easy. And I don't know, this is much more sensual than getting something processed. Something from nature instead of something from man, right? If your food has been touched too many times by man and packaged too many times and is sitting in plants and factories and then in boxes and plastic and then sitting on the shelf somewhere, where is the life force? And I'm looking for life force because we are what we eat. Yep. So we got lime juice and I'm going to chop up some dill and some cilantro, and we'll have some tomatoes, and we'll look forward to the next dish later of arugula. When you crumble up Parmesan, oh my gosh, when you blend Parmesan and make it crumbly and put a little nutritional yeast and salt, you have a Parmesan. I think when you blend up pine nuts, you have a Parmesan to put on top of romaine or arugula, and it's absolutely beautiful. So you can rub this on your skin. Anything we eat here is good for our the aroma. You just already know you're doing something good for yourself. This is really good for digestion if you have any bloating or issues like that. They say dill is good for insomnia as well, so I think it's good for our nervous system. It calms us. My mom really liked dill. She would be happy with this right now. I'm going to say it again. Don't worry about giving up what it is you think you love or you need. Just add some of this first. So it's not all or nothing, although eventually it probably becomes all or nothing because you just want to feel good all the time. But it's not about that. It's not about deprivation. It's about celebration. It's about feeling so incredibly lucky. And these are easy to grow, these herbs. You can grow these at home. Cilantro. Cilantro is known, people say funny things. They say like cilantro pulls out heavy metals, but really in actuality it helps our body to detoxify the heavy metals. Our bodies are detoxifying all the time, and we just want to help it along. We want to not eat the sludge, it gets caught in there, and we want to eat the things that are fibrous and pull out stuff and recharge us, regenerate us, that give us vitality. We have some work to do, there's some work in this, but the thing that I do is I make it fun. How can I find the most beautiful produce? What's going to make me happy? What can I have here that will be satisfying? Have it on hand a lot. If you rely on having to drop in places while you're on the go, there's going to be probably some issues because the things on the go aren't the things that are going to move through and fuel our bodies efficiently. Okay, we got our cilantro. I'm going to do a little bit of zucchini. There's a lot of folate, a lot of vitamins and minerals in zucchini. I have to say, if you ask me what's my one favorite food that I can do so many different things with, I'd have to say zucchini is up there. It's so hydrating. It's filled with so much water. It can be flavored so nicely in a Mexican way, in an Indian way. It can be sliced, it can be made into pasta, it could be blended into my no-bean hummus. Aren't I making zucchini sound like so much fun? So here's our little slices. And so as far as seasoning, red pepper, cayenne, habanero, some red pepper flakes, and we'll put some tomatoes in. We can do all kinds. I've been known to put cinnamon in salads. It's fun. Tomorrow or later on today in my Parmesan, that could be fun with the cinnamon and the figs, and definitely some honey or some coconut nectar. So now where we're at is all we have on here so far is olive oil. We didn't put any salt. We just have olive oil and lime juice. And that would be enough even really to just do that. But where's my salt? So now